James here, and today we're taking a look at this very cool security camera from REOLINK. This is their 4K Wi-Fi outdoor camera. It does have dual lenses, and that's kind of cool inside this piece. Now, like I said, dual 4K camera. Now, this is a wired version, and I'll talk about that in a second, about the wired side of this. Now, it's not just wired, it's also Wi-Fi connectability. So, two little things. Now, it is an 8 megapixel dual camera lens, so you do have 8 megapixels on each lens. Now, with this, you can do pan, tilt, and zoom. It does connect up 2.4 and 5G. Now, inside this, you're going to be greeted, of course, with the user manual if you need that. You'll also get an RJ45 connection or your Ethernet cable. Now, you can wired connection with this. You'll then also be greeted with this extension cable. This extension cable is actually pretty handy for you. Now, this cable is actually going to be your extension for your power. So if you need a lot more length, they give you that on hand. Inside, you'll also be greeted with the power brick, and this is just a standard power brick. I'm going to use this in the house because that's where we're going to test this out with. Now, you also get all of the hardware and the watertight fit. This watertight fit is actually for this extension. So if you need to reconnect it to extend it, this is going to give you that watertight fit, so you don't have to worry about that. Then you have your mounting hardware, just a bunch of screws, of course. Then you have the camera. Now, the camera is actually really cool. This is your camera. Like I said, dual lenses right here. Also four LED lights, super bright lights. The first two are going to be your LEDs. The top two are going to be for your night vision and detection. So that's going to detect motion because it does do motion detection. Now, you do have a telephoto lens, and you also have a wide-angle lens. The wide-angle lens, both of these can zoom in up to 6 times. 6-time hybrid zoom. Now, it does do colored night vision. It will track you. It is a rotatable, so it can rotate around and pan and tilt with that. You do have dual antennas. These antennas are for your Wi-Fi connectability. That means you're going to get a good connection with this. Fully waterproof housing, built-in bracketry, so you can already just mount it, and you can mount it in a couple ways. You can do the 2 screws, or you can do the other 2 screws. Now, we'll probably mount this somewhere in this house or just set it somewhere with that. Then you have your cable link. Your cable link is going to be a couple different connections. First is your power connection. That is what you're going to take with this power brick, and you're going to plug this in and connect it. That makes you connection. Now, I mean, remember, if you just use this, put that watertight cap on it for that. Your other connection is going to be right here is your RJ45 connection for that wired connectability. Now, with this, you can also connect up an SD card. Now, the SD card will pop in there, and you can do up to about 256 gigabyte SD card in there for that if you guys need, which is actually quite cool. Just make sure it's like a class 10 style. Now, 355 degrees rotatable, 90 degrees tiltable with that, 8 megapixels, full color day and night, 2-way audio so you can listen in and talk through it. You can trigger alarms and all of that in there. It does have a nice big speaker on the back, so it is nice and loud. Now, remember to add the REOLINK app and pair it up through the app. I already have the app installed. We're going to connect this up probably on a wall or something, then we're going to show you guys from that angle it working and where it's placed. So if you guys give me a second, we'll be right back. Okay, now that I have the REOLINK hooked up, you guys see it's right here, and if I move around, it's going to follow me and track me, which is kind of cool. So if I keep going and come back here, it's going to keep following me all the way around, and it's going to, even if I move downwards, it'll follow me downwards, back and forth, which is actually quite cool. Watch it follow me. Now, inside the app, we can pull up the app. You guys can see right here, we're watching ourselves just like that. Very easy, very simple. We can click it open, of course. If we want to enlarge this, we'll just grab this and we'll pull up full screen, just like that. So we're going to have full screen. Now, everything else you're going to see is actually going to be off of this camera or off of this phone with this. So, 1 second. Okay, now that we switched over to the phone, you guys can see the app here. Now, the app is actually quite useful. You can talk 2-way audio, like I said, through the camera. You can do pan, tilt, and zoom. You're seeing the dual camera lens right there and how you can track it yourself if you want to move it yourself. Now you can also zoom in, calibrate, or add pinpoint location. You can actually geolocation it as well. Now inside here, you'll be able to do a couple more things, like hit spotlight. You'll also be able to see display your user network, your detection alarm, your camera recording, your infrared lights, which I'm showing you right there. Now, detection alarm. Now that's where you're going to set it up to track you. The sensitivity, the object, maybe it's a person or a dog or a car, you can actually change that. Seconds to auto do, on and off, or start or off, with that, of course, as well. Now, you can also do push notifications, emails, and all of that in there in between. Now, inside here, like I said, you have two lenses. You have the close-up, and then you have that zoom-up lens, of course, with that. Now, you also see the other camera that I've been using to record you with a little bit ago. Now that I brought you over, you'll see that the spotlight is on, and it's actually quite blinding me with that. Now, of course, I did flop it over into full screen, which is going to be hard for you guys to see, well, because it went sideways, and unfortunately, that's just what happened right there. Not a big deal, but we might be able to fix that editing. Now, with this, you'll be able to do a couple more things. Day and night recording. There's the auto zoom where it just came right in on my face. You'll get that close up. That way you know who is on your property or in your house. Now, with all in all, REOLINK is a very great 4K camera with dual lenses and recording capabilities. I want to thank you for watching this. I hope you guys have a